and cute and baby boo. Welcome back to Baby Talks. We have a very special episode for you guys today. We are talking about Baby Boo's wedding.
Woo!
Okay, she got married back on April 13th. So we're gonna start out with her side of the story because this is where everything started. I got my side of the story, and then we have everything leading up to the wedding. So we'll start with you.
Alright, so I'm going to take you back a little bit.
Back all the way to April.
Actually, no, I'm going to take you back further than that. So a few years ago, I want to say this was in 2018. I want to say 2018, 2019.
Oh, we're going way, way back.
So, we were having our annual Christmas get-together with the four of us.
Yeah.
And my hubby gave me a rose gold ring with 2 emeralds on the side and an opal in the middle.
He ended up sending me a picture well before he actually got this for her. And he said, "Do you think she'll like it?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Well, 1, rose gold, 2, emerald, 3, opal.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding.
So he hit all the right markers.
Yeah. And I think it was a couple days later, we were talking on the phone, and he goes, "How about you consider that your engagement ring and your wedding ring?" I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
Nearly made me cry.
Honestly.
So, fast forward.
Fast forward.
Fast forward to March of this year.
Yep.
Specifically, March 7th.
Yeah.
I kept track. Well, I get a text message from him while I'm at work. And he goes, "Are you on a break right now?" And I go, "I'm on my lunch break. I have about 12 minutes left." So he calls me. And he goes, "Before I do anything, question, is your mom around?" Mind you, my mom and I work in the same warehouse, not for the same company.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "She's right next to me." He goes, "Can you keep your composure at work? Depends on what you're about to tell me."
Yep.
And then he goes, "How do you feel about going down to the courthouse in April to get married?" I had this look, I was trying so hard to hide my emotion,
Like you wanted to cry, you wanted to scream, you wanted to squeal.
I
all of it.
wanted to jump up and down and go boing, 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 boing.
Right.
And I go, "Yeah, we can do that." Mom's looking at me like, "What?"
Do what?
And he goes, "Okay, we can talk about it more in depth when you get home." I'm like, "Okay."
Fair enough.
And he leaves me with that. Yep. Says, "I love you, blah, blah, blah." Mom was about to text him and be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You can't text him. I can't tell you anything about this yet. It could be for about your birthday for all we know."
Yeah.
She goes, "My birthday's not till July." I'm like, "This is a dude who likes to get his Christmas shopping done in August." She goes, "You make a point there."
I mean, she does. This guy loves to do everything early.
So that, she bought that.
Yeah, she was trying to come up with the right lie in order for it to not really seem like she's hiding something.
And she bought the lie.
Yeah, this one's not really good at hiding secrets.
So, I get home. My first question to him was, "What brought this up?"
Yeah.
Because it was completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Why wait any longer?" I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
I'm like, "When did you want to do this?" He goes, "I want to request a few days off the second week of April." He goes, "I don't know whether to do it this way or this way."
There were a few days they had thought about.
So she's like, "I can either do the 14th, 15th, 16th or the 13th, 14th, 15th. And I said, "Let's do the 13th, 14th, and 15th because I still want you to be able to get in and do your internship."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Fair enough." He goes, "So, April 13th, April 13th. The next morning, I go to work. And I'm still in this happy-go-lucky mood.
You're like, hee 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 hee.
And my boss was like, and I was like, "I have news for you." My boss was like, "What's going on?" And then I tell her, I'm getting married. She gets over the moon excited, giving me the biggest hug. I'm like, "I promise there will be pictures." You know, I told my friends at work, I told mom and dad. Mom was one of the last to know, that's my bad.
It happens.
Yep.
You also posted on Facebook.
I did post on Facebook, and I got a lot, within 30 seconds, I got
Just ping, 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 ping.
yeah. So, then the planning began.
The fun part.
Now, mind you, normally when somebody is planning their wedding, they usually have, let's round it off to a year.
I have 2, but yes.
But
Some people have a year, some people have 2 years, some people have 3. It all just depends.
let's just say, for example, a year.
A year.
To plan everything, that gives you a chance to book the venue,
Save some money.
save some money, book the caterers if need be.
Yeah.
Order flowers.
Get your dress.
Get your dress. Any accessories you want with the dress. Oh, the dress debacle.
And not only that, your guest list.
The guest list.
You gotta come up with a guest list. You gotta get basically so much in order before you go and say, I do.
I had to do all of this within a month.
Did you not ask for his help?
I don't know how much help he would have been.
Fair enough.
Because he even said, this is about you, not me. Like, but it's about both of us. It's our one. He goes, no, it's about you. Okay, so we already knew where the quote-unquote ceremony was taking place. At the courthouse. All we had to do was book an appointment to get the marriage, like pay for the marriage license and all that shit.
Right, all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff that's expensive.
Very.
And once we did that, which I was the one to do that, and I'm not usually the most responsible, I ended up remembering to do it.
Well, I mean, hey, it'll teach you responsibility for down the road.
It really would. So I did that, and then we found out we can only have, well, we double checked, but we'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and then the hunt for my dress. I wasn't being particularly picky, but I knew I was gonna wear white, because I wanted to wear white, and two, I would never hear the end of it from a certain family member. Anyway. 2, I knew I wanted a short dress.
Right.
Now, I think long wedding dresses are beautiful. Not for me. Because 1, I don't look good in long dresses unless it's like a maxi dress that's super cash.
Right.
And 2, now granted, I'm about average height for a woman.
You are.
About.
Which I'm very jealous of.
But long dresses make me look and feel short.
See, and imagine that on a short person like me.
You would look like an infant. Well, not
But I'm still getting my long dress.
I was going to say, you would be a literal halfling or a hobbit.
This is why my heels are gonna be a little taller.
These are gonna be like 8-inch stilettos over here. So I'm looking and I'm looking on Amazon. I'm looking on Google. Hell, one of the girls at Costco offered her dress to me.
Just so you wouldn't have to go buy one.
Well, it was too small and it was backless and and it was long.
Hey, so yeah, we weren't going in that direction.
So I finally found a dress I really liked. It had like a little bit of a 1940s vibe, which someone pointed out to me.
I didn't really pay attention to that too much.
Neither did I. But it was this cute little darling little dress. I loved it. I felt pretty in it. Now, I ordered this thing the 21st of March.
So it had a while to get here.
It came late.
Yeah.
Because I did expedited shipping.
So it would come sooner.
Yeah, it came 2 days for the wedding. It came in the mail.
And this is when the stress meter goes.
It was supposed to arrive a week before the wedding. That way, if I needed to alter it, I had time to do it.
Right, you could go to a dry cleaner or a
tailor.
A tailor or something,
somewhere.
yeah.
My dress arrived, and like you said, that's when the stress goes. I was breaking out hardcore on my chin, massive honkers of zit from stress.
Oh, yeah,
I'm surprised I didn't take up drinking.
I'm glad you did, and I think Casey would have immediately shut that down if you tried.
Probably. So the dress comes in 2 days before the wedding, and I'm like, if this doesn't fit,
we screwed.
I'm screwed.
But Sherry also had the idea of you two going wedding dress shopping just in case.
That's if the dress didn't arrive in time.
Well, I'm also sure that would have been applied if it didn't fit you as well.
Right. So I try the dress on, did not realize there was a zipper in the back.
That's probably helpful.
So I unzip it, get in it. Now I can't zip this by myself.
Right.
Because I'm not flexible enough to do it.
Not too hard.
So I call my hubby in to help me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I know it's like, oh, bad luck. He's gonna see me the day of anyway, going into the damn thing.
Right, we were gonna be driving to the courthouse, so I mean...
No point.
No point.
He was able to get it zipped. He had finagle with the zipper because he had fat fingers and it was a small zipper.
Right.
But he got it zipped.
Without a bra, mind you.
Well, I couldn't with that bra.
Right.
It fit. It fit me well. It accentuated everything. I looked skinny.
So we were good to go.
Oh, yeah. So, then my shoes came in, like, way before my dress did. And they were pretty.
Her rose gold heels.
They were champagne.
Either way.
I had these champagne heels, and I had a hair accessory that I swear was meant for a child's head.
Didn't you wear it?
I did for a minute.
Yeah.
But
You took it off after the ceremony, though.
Yeah, because it was hurting my head. I swear it was meant for a child.
Probably.
Or someone with a microscopic head.
Which neither of us have.
No.
We are big-headed people.
Big-headed people. So, now, we get to the fun part. Well, partially the fun part. We can only have one witness for the ceremony. Just one. If we were able to have, like, multiple people, like...
You would have brought everybody.
Well, it used to be up to 15, but with COVID and being LA County and all this other fun stuff.
Yeah, all the things.
Because, my hubby's grandmother flew in for the wedding.
Yeah.
So, we're like, okay. He and I did talk about this because he called and double checked. And even my mom was like, if it has to be one person, then it's okay if it's Mandy. Because she's good with the camera, she'll be able to film it and all this other stuff. So you had mom's approval about the date.
Thank you, Francis.
So we're like, okay. So when we found out, and his mom was totally cool with it, because we were all going to be all together for the reception anyway.
Right.
So the night everything got squared away, as far as having a witness that night. Well, first of all, I text you. Like,
Yeah.
Do you have a minute?
Yeah, and then you called me.
So I called this one, and I said, hey, we can only have... So we double-checked, we can only have one witness for the ceremony. She goes, okay. And it's you. That threw her off a bit.
It really did.
She's like, what?
I'll tell more about that when I get to my side of the story.
So she was our one witness. I also asked her and her hubby to make speeches at the reception. I asked my dad to make a speech at the reception.
At that point, it was open mic night if anybody else wanted to make a speech.
Pretty much. I asked for a first dance. Well, I asked him that day, but whatever. I asked for a father-daughter dance.
Which was very sweet.
I wanted some traditional things.
Yeah, just not all the traditional things.
No. We got our wedding cake from Costco.
Very delicious.
It was this beautiful vanilla cake, white cake with a cheesecake, like, frosting filling.
It was really good. Very moist, not too sweet.
And it had light pink roses and yellow roses. It had yellow in the heart.
So Grandma could be there with us.
Well, yellow roses is my mom's favorite, but the yellow period
was for Grandma.
Was for Grandma. And we had a heart in the middle of the cake with yellow in the background. And
it was a gorgeous cake.
It had our initials and then the wedding day.
Yeah.
And it was... I tried to boop them with frosting.
It did not work.
I tried. So, and then, let's see, what else? Oh!
Well, you can tell about how you felt during the wedding, how you felt during the reception and all that.
Okay, so how I felt during the wedding. I'm surprised all the emotions didn't hit me at one time and I was bawling. I'm surprised.
Honestly, not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be Luis and I. So I'm gonna buy some waterproof setting spray.
And waterproof mascara.
Yep, and eyeliner.
And everything.
And everything.
Primer and
and all the fun stuff.
But I, honestly, in that moment, in my head, I'm like, this is really happening. I mean, even though, I heard my husband say, I do. And I heard him say, Deanna, with this ring, I do be wed. I heard him.
Yeah.
I heard him loud and clear, but in my head, I'm like, this is happening.
I'm fucking getting married.
Like, I'm getting married. Not to mention, I dyed my hair the day before the wedding. That took 6 hours to do.
That's why you guys are seeing her as a blonde.
Yes, but I love it. So, during the reception, I just felt all the love.
I mean, not gonna lie, I think Luis and I started to tear up during your first dancing, your daddy-daughter dance.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, we were both looking at each other like,
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Well, your dad cried during his speech.
He choked.
Yeah.
Which was the sweetest thing.
Just, you're still my baby girl.
He's like, you grew up incredible.
Can I still call you?
It's like, I can still text you every night. Like, I know.
That's not gonna change.
Like, I know, Dad, I know.
You're over here, I'm not crying,
You're crying. I had to hold on to Casey, like, ah.
Like, my dad's gonna make me cry.
And I had smudge-proof mascara, though, so I think I was okay.
It did its job.
It did its job. Our first dance. We danced to the same song my parents did at their wedding, which is a song called Forever Is As Far As I'll Go.
It's a very sweet song.
I almost cried! And because I was telling my husband, like, I'm, like, fighting back crying. He goes, why? I'm like, well, and, like, that's why. I'm like, well, it's the same song. He goes, that's why I suggested that you pick that one, because I knew it would mean that much to you. Then I had a weird Queen Serenity moment. It was weird.
Okay.
Well, blonde hair, white dress.
I've never seen Sailor Moon a day in my life.
Never mind. The daddy-daughter dance was really sweet.
Oh yeah, it was cute.
And the reason why I picked the song that I did, which That's the Way Love Goes, by Merle Haggard, when my dad got his very first Taylor brand guitar, that was the very first song he played for me.
I remember you telling me that not long after the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
Yeah. Then the speeches happened.
Well, Dad's speech, we'll start with that one.
Let's start with that one.
We'll start with the one who went first.
Which was my dad.
Which was Dad.
It was really sweet.
I remember hearing him ask you, like, well before everything started, he goes, "Okay, are you still my boo? Are you still my baby girl? Can I still call you? Can I still text you?"
Yeah.
I'm over here like, ow. My heart.
You're just like, owie.
I didn't need this functioning heart anyway. It's fine.
That's why I got up and gave him a hug, because it was just like one of the sweetest things, and I've never seen my dad get that emotional.
I've never seen your dad emotional, period.
You make a fair point. I mean, I've seen him laugh and all that shit, but this was just pure...
This was a new side to him.
Yeah, this was a new side to him, but he is happy for the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, you'll make the joke, anytime you need me to fix your car, Casey, you're good. Now let's get to that one's speech.
Mine wasn't all that great. I had to improv it on the spot.
You were a theater kid, you can do improv.
I was in improv for 1 year.
But still, it was cute.
Well, thank you.
Although I am surprised, because we've cracked this joke with each other, like, I don't know how many times. She would tell me, at your wedding reception, I'm going to tell a story. I heard you go potty.
You're lucky I didn't bring that up.
Oh, yeah, should have. It would have been hilarious.
Well, I wanted to keep this speech heartfelt, sentimental, and a little funny.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I brought up the fact that, you know, I had seen you grow so much in the 5 years I had known you. Because literally our friend anniversary was 2 days after the wedding anniversary.
Which ties in amazingly.
Yeah. And, you know, and I said how, and I literally boasted. I was like, so I'm the reason those two are together.
Oh, yeah, she took, because even I was like, are we mentioning this? Like, no, you're taking full credit on this one.
Oh, yeah. So I said, I'm the reason these two are together. And I told the whole story of how they got together, which, again, I'll tell on my side of the story when you're done.
Mm-hmm. Now, her hubby's speech.
My hubby speech, which he is not a public speaker at all. He hates public speaking.
He was very quiet, but he got real sentimental.
Yeah, he's like, Casey, you've always been my big brother. I always look up to you. And he was like, Danny, you've always been my big sister. You know, I noticed you always take care of me, blah, blah, blah.
And I'm just like, ow. And then no one else wanted to say anything.
Nope.
Although I'm surprised Mom didn't want to say anything, because she could dish some hard shit.
She could have.
She could have.
She very well had ammo.
She had plenty of it from, like,
she just didn't use it.
From over 20 years of raising my ass.
Yeah, well, 27 years of raising your ass, nearly 28, I mean.
And then I did say to everybody that, you know, thank you guys for coming. I'm happy you guys are here. I tried, but I was a little emotional.
As one would be at their wedding.
One more thing before we go on to her side of the story. Our champagne flutes.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty.
The theme I wanted for the wedding was fantasy. Now, granted, we had a reception on the 6th floor of a country club, but it worked.
It worked.
I went into the mall, and I went into a store that does these, like, weddings, like, little champagne flutes and things like that. So I picked this, like, leafy design one at that's not, like, on the stick.
Yeah, on the stem.
On that. And same thing with the cake cutting stuff.
Right.
And I had mine and my husband's initials, well, my new initials, his initials.
Right.
Engraved in, like, a navy blue color on the champagne flutes. Mm-hmm. And they were so pretty.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're right now in this little, like, what, china cabinet or whatever that you guys have in the living room.
Yeah. I will say one thing before we get to her side of the story. She has cracked this joke before. She's gonna crack this joke till the day I die. My new initials.
Donkey Kong Jr.
My initials used to be DKB. Now it is DKJ. And she has cracked so many times Donkey Kong Jr.
And your husband loves it.
Yes, he does.
Because he didn't realize it until I had said something.
Oh, yeah. Now, your perspective.
So, this was a totally random, I had no idea this was going to happen, occurrence. Because when we were told the news, we were driving back from work, Luis and I. And when we were driving back from work, we were on the freeway catching traffic because during the weekdays we were always off by 5 o'clock and it's traffic hour.
Traffic hour!
So we're driving home, we get a call from Casey, and my first thought is, who's in trouble? Because that's typically when he calls is when one of us is in trouble. Or when he needs something, whatever the case may be.
Or if he needs to plot.
So I answer the phone, I'm like, hey Casey, what's up? He goes, hey, so is your fiance there? And I said,
Is
yeah.
Mr. HDMI.
Is Mr. HDMI there? I was like, yeah, he's next to me, what's up? And he goes, so Deanna and I are gonna get married next month. Literally just drops the bomb. And I'm like, congrats! Great! Amazing! And I said, when's the date? What do we need to do? You know? Because I needed to know our side of things.
He told me y'all flipped your shit.
We did. But not without speaking this, non-verbally, we were the assumed maid of honor and best man.
Doy.
Which obviously has some responsibilities to it. So we're both like, well, what do we need to do? What days do we need to get off? What do we need to wear? So we're just trying to figure out what the hell we need to do. Because again, as maid of honor and, best man, we kind of have responsibilities too in this wedding.
Kind of.
So he tells us that, and this was before you guys, I think this was before you even got home. He had mentioned that it was either going to be...
Yeah, I was still at work.
Yeah. He mentioned it was either going to be the 13th or the 14th. I said, okay, whatever day you guys pick, just let us know. We'll request that day off and the day after. Maybe we can go do something the next day. Or if you guys just want to chill at home, we can do that too. So he said, all right, keep you guys updated. I said, all right. So not long after, I had asked her, hey, what do you need me to wear? Because it's a wedding, and it's her theming, and I didn't know what she wanted. And she goes, oh, well, I wanted to do a fantasy theme. So I'm looking up different types of dresses. I'm like, any of these speak to you? She goes, no. And I said, all right. So I'm kind of thinking, like, what could work for a fantasy theme? I found this shirt that kind of reminded me of your Miguel shirt from when we did Tulio and Miguel.
Ah.
And I found that. And then I found this gypsy-esque skirt. Picked that, grabbed a little belt thingy to put around my waist.
It looked like a waist cincher.
It was really cute. Bada bing, bada boom. As confident as she felt in her wedding dress, I felt confident in my maid of honor dress. So I wore that, and I wore my heels. Luis threw on a really nice suit, whatever.
The man cleans up nice.
He really do. So not long after this, after I had found my outfit, I ordered it, we're all ready to go. I'm home. I was in the living room for some reason. I cannot remember why. She texts me, she goes, do you have a minute? I'm all, yeah, sure, what's up? She calls me. So I answer the phone and she says, so we learned from the courthouse that we can only bring in one witness. I said, all right, because I'm thinking, do they, and she might tell me, oh, it's going to be mom, it's going to be dad, it's going to be Casey's mom, Casey's grandma.
Somebody
whatever.
in the immediate family.
Right, so she's probably going to let us know, hey, can you meet us at, this country club at...
The reception space.
Yeah, the reception space at X time. And yeah, that's fine, no problem. I get the call, and she goes, we want that one person to be you. My first thing wasn't thank you, it was why? Because I'm thinking they want a family member there, but nope, they wanted me. And she goes, well, there's only one reason. I said, okay. She goes, it's because you're good at taking pictures. I said, great, thanks for the sentiment.
I was like, I'll accept that.
I'll accept it. And I told Luis, I'm like, they want me. And he goes, okay. I asked, day up when we were driving down to the courthouse, I said, so what do you do with him? And...
Well, I cracked a joke to just leave him in the car with a coloring book.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what we did with your mother-in-law. Because she drove us.
Yeah, we were chauffeured.
We left him at home with Roxy Roo because, we wanted to keep her company and make sure she didn't attack Grandmama.
Because
she was obsessed with Grandma. Absolutely obsessed. Would not leave the woman alone. But Grandma loved her. Grandma adored her from what I saw.
Oh, yeah.
So we get to the courthouse and I'm doing Facebook Live on one phone, video on another, and taking pictures on the same phone because Apple. Because Apple. And not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with how it all turned out.
I was gonna say, you just pretty much did my job when you got engaged.
Uh-huh, pretty much. Except no offense to you, I do very well dual paparazzi. You did very well though, dual paparazzi. Because you had my phone and, you had your phone and Luis's phone.
Yes.
And that was a very big challenge for her because she was working with Apple and Samsung product together.
It was an interesting
experience.
I did it.
She did do it. But I took the pictures, took the videos, went on Facebook Live. One person joined like literally at the tail end. And then after that, we went back to her and her husband's house, and we were grabbing my fiance, and we were told by mommy-in-law, grandma, and sister-in-law that we didn't know that sister-in-law was going to join us yet because she was working that day.
She was working, and I want to jump in real quick.
Yep.
I honestly thought my sister-in-law wasn't going to be able to make it because she had to work, and she works all the way out in LA.
Which is, if none of you live in California who are watching this, LA is a crappy place to drive to and from depending on the time of day. LA traffic is a real thing.
So I'm using the restroom, and all of a sudden I hear on my mother-in-law's phone my sister-in-law's ringtone when she calls.
Yep.
Which is I Will Not Bow by Breaking Benjamin.
And we're thinking either A, she's just calling to see maybe how everything's going, wanting to get an update, whatever the case may be.
But normally the only time she calls like that is when she's on her way home from work.
Which I don't know that. You do. You're the one
I
that
did,
lives with
yeah.
them,
Well, yeah, because I've become accustomed.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking,
no way.
And then, again, I'm in the bathroom because I can kind of hear. I'm taking a piss.
Yeah, she's taking a piss while the rest of us are out there talking to Grandma.
Before we head to the reception space.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I hear my husband say, "Is she coming home?"
Yep.
This was like 11:30, 11:45 in the morning.
Yeah, we were getting really close to leaving because we had to be at the reception space by like what, noonish?
Noon, 12:30, something like that, because we were meeting up with the photographer.
Right.
And I'm just like, is Megan coming? Is Megan coming? Like, is she actually gonna make it? And then I'm told she's on her way home.
Yep.
And I'm like,
her face lit up.
Oh my god! Well, I was so sad because she told me because they wouldn't give her the day off because of all the shit that was going on at work.
Oh yeah, like she was just absolutely devastated, thinking that she wasn't gonna show up.
And then when I heard that she was coming home, I got so excited.
Okay, so after that, after the whole reception thing, after the wedding, which was absolutely beautiful. The whole thing was stunning. The woman helping you guys out was very polite, very sweet. First time I've ever had to sign a witness form.
Your first and only time, probably.
Probably. That was a very interesting, experience. I was like, don't mess up the legal document. Don't mess up the legal document.
Don't screw this up for my friends.
Exactly. Write your legal name, not your nickname. Shit. So we get to the reception area and it's beautiful. It was the photography place in general.
The photo studio.
It was gorgeous. That you could literally, they were moving stuff around left and right. I think one of my favorite pictures is the two of you on that couch. But
that is one of my favorites too. Just like, hi.
Oh yeah, this photographer did a really good job.
He had an eye for detail, and we've already knew what bride wants, bride gets.
Exactly. So finally, photos are done. Mom and Dad, take pictures with Harley, with Baby Boo, and
Harley?
Yeah, with Harley, with Baby Boo and husband, and everything's just going smoothly. Literally, there were no bumps in the road.
No, none, which made me happy.
Seriously, probably not going to be the same thing at my wedding.
What's a wedding without a little family drama?
We gotta love it, right? So we get to the reception room where we're all just chilling out, and there's obviously the sweethearts table for the bride and groom. We had one table on the left, one table on the right, and there was only 10 of us, like, on the tables.
Yeah, five people each.
Actually, no. Yeah, it was 5 and 5. Yeah.
I was gonna say
no. Wait. You guys left one chair empty on one side.
Yeah, because we thought we had more. I think one of us miscounted, but there was a space for the photographer to sit and eat.
Exactly. So we had 5 and 5, and then we had the two of them there. And oh my god, the food, so good.
Mm-hmm.
We had, steak sliders?
It was steak burger sliders, and barbecue beef sliders were the brisket sliders.
The steak ones were the best ones in my opinion. And then there was like really good fries. Really good French fries. So after we're all done eating, the speeches are given. The speech I gave, I was trying to plan it. I was gonna plan it beforehand, but then I was like, I'll wing it. So I got up there and I was like, hi. I think there's only like 2 people here that don't know me. Anywho,
yeah, my grandparents.
Yeah, exactly. So I said that, and I flat out said, I brought these 2 together. And I asked them, like, are we giving him credit? And
No.
Casey's like, no, this is all you.
Even I said no.
Yeah, they were like, this is all you. So I told the story about how I actually got these two to meet. Now, for the sake of the story, I will include the other person because he technically did have something to do with this. The only reason we excluded him during the speech is because he gone. So the way that these two met was, it was around the time, not long after she had actually gotten dumped by her previous boyfriend before this one. And she wasn't exactly in the best mood for a while.
You met me in April. I got broken up with in July.
Exactly. And again, she wasn't in the best mood. She was kind of bummed out for a very long time. Because by the time they met, it was September. And we were in our slow season. And the only reason I remember this is because nobody was in the goddamn park.
No, it was dead.
It would be dead. So my I'm so sorry. My ex-boyfriend, I just have Luis on the brain 24/7. My ex-boyfriend.
Well, how can you not?
True. My ex-boyfriend used to work Scary Farm, and they would give a lot of comp tickets for working Scary Farm. These guys, I think, got like good fistful of them, right?
At least, it kind of made me feel like they got like 50 of them or some shit.
Well, also don't forget they're the monsters. They're the ones working a little bit harder than us. So he could get himself in. He could get his friend in. But before they actually came to the park, I'm gonna back up a bit more because before we even get to the Knott's Berry Farm part, we gotta back up to when I was still in college and I actually met my ex-boyfriend in one of my classes. So we're walking to our cars because we parked in the same location. We get to our cars and he gets a text from Casey. And Casey says, hey, I'm still looking for a girl. Because at this point he had been single, 6 years? Something like that?
I don't think he's been single 6 years. He just hadn't done the duty in 6 years.
Basically, he had been a wee bit lonely for 6 years. And at the time, he was actually looking for someone. He was looking for someone to, get to know and possibly be with, you know what I mean? So he ends up texting him, hey, does your girlfriend have any single friends? And I was thinking about it. I was like, I have one. And I said, look, we'll give this a shot. If it doesn't work out, oh well, we tried. Mm-hmm. No harm, no foul.
Because what your thought was, like, she just got out of a relationship. She hasn't been in the best of moods.
Right, it's like, she hasn't been feeling the best. So, hell, let's give this one date. Worst case, it doesn't work out. Bada bing, bada boom, we tried, we move on. We give her more time to heal. So I send a picture of her and I and Minnie Mouse, and the text that was received afterwards was, please tell me she's the one on the right. And we were like, yep, that's her. So obviously Casey was already head over heels, hadn't met her, just seen her, and was like, that one.
It's like, I'll take that one.
Please. How much is she? No, I'm kidding. So
I cannot be bought. I am not a prize to be won.
Okay. Anywho, so she's at our basketball game. I'm at our soccer game. So I'm just kind of casually...
no longer there.
No. So I'm just casually standing there going like, who wants to play soccer? Because we have to promote our...
We have to hawk.
And no one ever really took it seriously. We're just like, come on down, we'll play some game. Like you hear at the usual OC fair, whatever.
It's like, step right in, step right up. Come on down, folks, from here. $5.
Play a game. You have 6 balls and 6 chances to get them prizes. Yeah, 3 for the small and 6 for the large. You get anything in between, it's a medium. Anyway.
That was an auctioneer.
Thank you. So I'm just kind of standing there like, play my game. And I feel these arms come around my shoulders. And I'm like, oh, hello. So
hello, mister.
I talked to him like, so did you do it? He goes, yep, I left them together. I'm like, alrighty. So
okay, you did, but let me just elaborate a little bit on that one.
Sure.
Okay, so I see her ex-boyfriend come in my direction. I have met him before.
This was also before we thought he was a dick.
Yes.
And
at the time, it was like, oh, it's always good to see him.
Yeah, at the time.
Then there was this big, tall, nerdy-looking dude. I'm like, friend.
Hello, behemoth.
That's like, okay, he brought a friend in, which I thought was cool and nice, because I knew he worked Scary Farm at the time.
Yeah.
And I gave her ex-boyfriend a hug, because I'm just a hugger, that's just what I do.
Yeah, again, she's a physical attention person.
Physical interaction and all that shit.
Right.
I'm like, how you doing? And then he says in my ear, I have somebody I want to introduce you to.
Do ya? Is this the friend?
I was gonna say, I think I was starting to put 2 and 2 together, because you had previously mentioned potentially meeting somebody that was a friend of his.
Yes, I did.
I was putting 2 and 2 together at this point.
You're like, ah.
Introduces the man, and I'm like, hi.
Saw.
I did shake his hand, say it was nice to meet him. And then he and I started talking anime and all this stuff. Apparently, he had asked her what she liked. She goes, well, she loves Disney, she loves anime, she loves Black Veil Bride. Stop, she's perfect.
Yep, exactly. And then while, they're talking, he's just slowly backing away and runs.
I saw him out of the corner of my eye go, bye.
So again, he comes to me, hugs me, and asks me how I'm doing. I said, I'm bored because no one's playing our games. And I said, did it work? And he goes, yep, they're talking right now. I'm like, perfect. Maybe once, because you and I were both off around the same time.
I think you were, I was off a little bit before. No, you were off like maybe 15 minutes before me.
It was literally by like a hair. So we got dressed.
It was just splitting hairs.
Exactly. So we got dressed, and we actually spent the rest of the day at the park, which was only about 2-3 hours.
I met back up with you guys at the park because I had to run a quick errand for Mom.
Right.
For my mom. But I first impressions, man. Okay. I did not expect to meet the man that is now my husband that day.
Yep.
I solemnly swear I'm up to no good shirt packed in my bag to change into, along with the shortest shorts I owned.
Not intentional.
No.
Because again, she had no idea she was meeting him this day.
And I would like to point out, I should have had an inkling something was going to happen, because the night before you texted me.
I did and diddly-deed.
She goes, put your hair in pigtails tomorrow. And I'm thinking,
because she looked her cutest in her pigtails.
Plus, it was a hot day; it would have made sense anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I asked her, low or high?
High.
And then she goes, high. I'm like, okay, Harley pigtails.
You're all, who am I trying to impress?
No, I didn't think much of it at the time, but you would think I would have an inkling. It's like, what does she have up that little fucking sleeve of hers?
You're also incredibly oblivious.
You think?
So these two, we get them on probably one of the best rides for a couple to go on, which was at the time Calico River Rapids. Now,
no, at the time with Bigfoot.
Bigfoot Rapids. Now is Calico River Rapids. So Bigfoot Rapids, we have them sit together. My ex and I sit together.
The weight distribution was so
well, he was holding you at that point. He had his arm around you.
I leaned in.
Yeah. Needless to say, by the end of the day, it was kind of there. They had each other's numbers. And by the time our first ever Halloween party rolled around that we were hosting together, they made it official, kind of unintentionally. They said boyfriend, girlfriend.
I said boyfriend.
Yeah, so immediately I was like, perfect.
Well, you were also be like, if you don't kiss him at the party, I'm going to put you two in a room and be like, and kiss.
And kiss. So at that point, I told everyone, it was my doing that they got together. And I told her, I remember the kind of person she was when we first met,
fetus,
versus the person that she is now. And she had grown up immensely within those 5 years. And she has proven herself to be a mature young woman, capable of making rational, smart, and mature decisions. And yeah, I kind of took the ball from there, made a couple of jokes here and there. And yeah, that was my speech. And then my fiance got up and basically thanked them for being good role models for him and always taking care of him and teaching him how to be a better person. And he had more to say about Casey than he did Deanna, but again, I had more to say about Deanna than I did to Casey, because I told Casey that, I said some nice stuff about him too. But by the end of the day, they did their first dance, they did the father-daughter dance, and it was very, very cute, very, very sweet. And by what, like 2 or 3 we were done?
Pretty much.
So we got dropped off. We didn't stay long. I think we jetted after that because...
No, you stayed for a few hours.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Oh, we did, because I remember I was like, get this thing off me, and I took the belt off.
It was like, I need to breathe.
So we stayed till what, about like 7-ish?
Something like that.
Something like that. And we came over the next day, hung out with them. Overall, though, this whole thing with them getting married is a shock, but at the same time, it was all very beautifully done. And you gave me incredible wedding fever that day.
Sorry.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just now really looking forward to mine, which is in 1.5 years from now. Gonna be a wild party. Especially because we have like over 100 guests going, and you know, we gotta pick a venue, and it's actually gonna be like not a traditional wedding, but it's gonna be a wedding. Bigger than yours.
Well, no shit. Not to mention my husband in Viking armor.
That's gonna be fun to see because he's gotta make chainmail in order to actually get that to all work.
Well, also he's gonna be playing security.
He's gonna be playing security as well as best man. But as best man, he's got a lot of responsibilities to do. And as maid of honor, you got some responsibilities to do too.
I know.
Which, I mean, the only main one is just planning the bachelorette party with my mother.
Which you kind of took care of already. Because, like, okay, we're going to be pajamas, crappy movies, and a lot of junk food.
Oh, yeah. And my mom was like, let's do it. And I remember telling, that to Megan and Sherry. And I remember Casey saying, hey, why don't you invite Megan? Because, you know, she's part of the family, you know?
Yeah.
So I looked at her, I was like, Megan, do you want to join? And she goes, really? I'm like, yeah, join us. Crappy movies, PJs. Let's do it. Junk food, come over. So she'll be joining us.
Awesome.
But yeah, it was just a beautiful wedding. I'm stupid excited for mine now because of you.
You're welcome.
And I know by the time you either get pregnant by this year or next year, I'll be like, when's my first baby?
It's like, Louise, put a baby in.
I know we're not married yet, but she's already pregnant, so can you make me pregnant? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave all your congratulations for Baby Boo in the comments below. And if you guys have any questions about the wedding, kind of like what she said in her video, we can't get too specific on, you know, the big details. But we can try and answer any questions you guys have. And obviously, we will also be keeping you guys updated on my wedding, which is not till next year. But still, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye, little mice.
Bye, baby dolls.
Bye, little dollies.